I'm saying no. Niggas know how I'm bumming, nigga. Yeah. Fuck what a nigga say, I feel like Dre. Man, the game is thick. Suckers wanna play and load my K until that bitch click. Big stick, hanging out the bottom of my 4-5. No lie, if I whip it out, somebody gon' die. Only time you hard is on the gram when you go live. Flexing with a tube but never blam, I'ma blow mine. Won't show mine until it's go time. Nah, you can't hold mine. Yeah, I got the whole mine, I'm on the goal line. And I'm going for 6, watch me up the score. Caught him at the stove, he was with his hoe. Had to let him know, that's your ass, you don't get it past. You reap what you sow. Why you speaking low? Speak up, boy, you been a hoe. Boy, you been a bitch, get off dick, tryna steal my drip. Look up in the air, you see me, I'm fly as bird shit. Never on no nerd shit, why you on that lame shit? You don't want no smoke, you get smoke with who you hang with. You know what I'm saying? Lame ass niggas talking about they in some gang shit. Nigga, you's a bitch, nigga. Matter of fact, nigga, you's a hoe. Nah, you ain't no hoe, cause hoes get dope. Man, that pussy ass a cat.
We fucking live, my niggas.
Tell him free to act. Feeling free of rat, you know he told how you sleep with.
Heart2Start Fantasy Podcast Week 3 recap. Wire targets, man. We coming at y'all, man. Guccini, JD, what it do?
What it do, man? Shout out to my bruh, man, young Benny Franco, man, streaming on all platforms, man. His new shit just dropped. I think I said it last show, but you know, if you feeling that motherfucking intro, man, that's the young nigga that do this shit, man. Benny Franco, nigga, with a O FRAKNKO. I guess I don't know, nigga. Hey, you got to understand, man. I'm not highly educated, but that was 1 + 1 right there. But you caught me on a bad one. But shout out to my motherfucking brother, man. That nigga shit is doing his motherfucking thing, 100%. G.
Oh, that's funny, man. Week 3 matchups recapping wire targets.
That's a viral movement right there. The nigga can't spell Franco. Is he all right?
FRANKO, man. Benny Franco. Go follow us at IG, Heart2Start Podcast on the IG. Guccini, man. Let's talk about it, man. Nah, I can't really hear nothing but us, but you talking when it's in the mic. I'm pretty sure we good. But man, let's dive into how your week went though, man. You squoke one? Squoke? Is that the word? Squoke?
Fucking A. So like I'm in
12
leagues. I'm in 12 leagues, and only 3 of them is on Yahoo. Woodrow. 3 of them is on Yahoo. I went 2-1 in Yahoo, and I think in Sleeper. So that leaves 9 on Sleeper. I think I got 3 or 4 wins on Sleeper. So 6, 5, man. I went like 5 and 7 this week, man. But it's still Monday though. So like in the SBI, shout out to my dog Steezy up in Washington and Seattle. Dreams, what's up, my nigga? Oh, my mama, 100%. Going into tonight's game, he had
Dreams whooping me right now. He should be winning. He got somebody playing. I forget.
Wax is dragging me. Shout out to Wax, another Heart2Start nigga. He dragging me in the ashy.
Yeah, Dreams up by 1. He only needed 2 from Barkley and 12 from the defense.
Barkley got it on that screen catch.
Yeah,
screen pass.
I had a bad one.
Yeah, though. You got any games coming down to Monday night?
1 in Ashy, but I didn't have Schultz playing, so I had to throw in young Ferguson. I think he actually might have just did something, but yeah, I had to throw in young Ferguson, man.
You didn't want to drop nobody until they announced that
it wasn't no tight ends on the wire. That's a dynasty league.
Oh,
that's a dynasty.
Okay.
But I think I lost both my Yahoo leagues. G pounced on me in the Yahoo.
That's Arbor Mish, aka the commish.
Ashy, I lost the Dreams. Dynasties, I think I won both. Well, if Ferguson do something, I'll win in both. I did for the most part. I did my thing except AOB. The other leagues. Shout out to the home league, man. Paid in full league. I think I'm losing the Tax in that league for sure. I think I won.
Shout out to Tax for rocking with us in the 14 team too, man. Him and Roots got that motherfucker turned up. They stay active in that motherfucker. You know what I mean? They
Roots
trying to come and bring that up.
Trying to pounce on him because
what's the name of the league over there that you just said?
Paid in full league.
They trying to bring the paid in full into the Heart2Start. They trying to make their presence felt over there, bro. Shout out to the homies, man.
As they should.
Mama.
As they should.
Hey, and then Woodrow right there, yeah. Saquon. It's gonna come down to Saquon, brody. On my mama, what you want to do, man?
Yeah, but hey, you made a trade. You talk about your trade.
Oh, me and Woodrow right here. So some of the viewers, if it's some viewers in here, they can evaluate the trade. So me and Woodrow. So on Sunday night we busted a trade, and my team is lacking wide receiver depth. You know what I mean? It's been hit or miss with Mike Thomas, and me starting Mike Thomas and Titi at the same time. So the first 2 weeks, I'm good on Mike Thomas. Last week, he gave me a hot 9. But when I start Titi for the first 2 weeks, negatives, it ain't no negatives, but wasn't doing nothing. And then this week, I didn't start Titi. He on the bench with 18, So it's been hit or miss. So that's just the backstory on the trade. And so Woodrow, my cousin, he needs... To me, he don't need no running back. I think he could have waited because the running backs that he has, and I can't name them all offhand. To me, I think somebody would have popped. But he had Austin Eckler, Mike Evans, T-Mac. He got like 5 receivers, right? He deep at receiver. I need receiver, but I got
what was Derrick the trade, Henry. Man?
I'm just trying to give a little backstory. My bad, blood.
Trade,
so the
man?
Trade was I sent. What's up, Albert? Shout out to my nigga Albert. That's my dog right there, man.
They're gonna trade for you. The trade was there,
Kamara,
Mike Evans,
Kamara and Dortch for Mike Evans and Miles Sanders. That was the trade. My nigga
That's
Albert,
it right there. What y'all thought about that trade, man? Mike Evans and Miles Sanders for Kamara and Dortch. That was the trade right there.
And but see, I was trying to get to too, though. I had just gave up Cousins for Dortch. Because Woodrow, I forgot who his quarterback play was, but Brady, he had Brady starting, but he got somebody on the bench too, though. I forgot who else he got. He got another quarterback, I think. But he pounced on Cousins, though, for Dortch. You know what I mean? But Dortch been balling, though.
Dortch been balling for sure. I mean, Hopkins is coming back. You know what I mean? Let's not forget that.
That's for sure. But
Dortch don't have nobody else.
Dortch running a lot of his shit from their sleaze out. You know what I mean? He doing it. Yeah, Noah too, though, bro. Noah Brown, bro. I put in claims for Noah Brown, bro. No lie.
Yeah, he doing his thing right now.
Facts.
So what y'all think about this trade that went down? Hockenson and CEH went for Kyle Pitts. JD, what you think?
To me, and just like I feel the same way about how I feel about Wood. I think you could have waited, bro. I think you could have waited. And I hate to say it because if you whoop my ass this week, then you right back in the joint. You know what I mean? And you told me the reason why, because I like Rahamador. He got Rahamador on his bench, but he just added CEH to go with who your other running back? Your main dude.
Barkley.
You know what I mean? But he got receivers. You know what I mean? Because he's a receiver guy. You know what I mean? So he went RB hero, but he had Waller and Waller and fucking KP, Kyle Pitts. So he had some chess pieces to move. So Cuzzo, with him being a hero RB, trying to add another piece with his 3 arsenals at receiver, he just made that move right there to go get CH. And CH been balling the last 3 games. Scored last 3 games.
He didn't have no rushing yards yesterday,
but he scored though. That's 3 straight games. I think.
Catches and he caught some balls. I mean, I'm definitely probably gonna go grab Pacheco just in case, and that'll be all I do. Yeah, I'm gonna sit back, man.
That Geico on it.
Team off to a rough start, but we'll get through it, man. It's a long season, man, and one thing you can't do is give up early, man. Week 3 matchups recap and wire targets. Let's talk about the first game. Steelers-Browns. Steelers 17, Browns 29. Man, Amari Cooper is the biggest story to this. Continues to kill when he was somebody that was overlooked, and I'm definitely guilty of it for sure.
No, definitely. I mean, bro, I was at a Raider game with you, and I don't know who you was telling the story to about the 2 points about him not getting or
I
some
just
old
brought that
bullshit.
up
I forgot
today.
what it was. This
Me
like
and
7,
E-Rock.
8
I
years
just talked
ago, bro.
about
I
it
forgot
today.
about this shit,
Me and
huh?
E-Rock just talked about it today in the other league because somebody said they needed 1 point to win. I'm like, man, I needed 2 points to win, and Amari Cooper only had 1 catch versus E-Rock. It's a lead that E-Rock in.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Shout
but
out to
now go
E-Rock,
ahead
man.
though. The pooper scooper.
On my mama. But yeah, though, the way that he dominated the game, I mean, shit, bro. Him and Njoku, bro, was the only 2 receiving threats that Brissett looked to. And we still got so we in week 4, I think Watson get 10 games, 11 games?
He don't come back till like week 13 or something.
Yeah, so we still got like 8 more games of Brissett. So I mean, we still ain't in the swerve season, and we was talking about it the last show. But is Pooper Scooper, or can we take that name off of him? Is he somebody that you might be trying to swerve for? I mean, swift for?
I mean, Jacoby Brissett, 21 to 31, 220, 2 TDs, and Amari 7 catches for 101 yards. Like you said, and Joku,
How many targets
those
was
are
it,
his
though?
guys.
How many targets was it?
It don't even matter a
It
lot.
do.
All I'm
It
saying,
do.
it do matter, but my point is, all he was targeting was Amari and Njoku. So for receivers, all he going to is Amari. So I mean, I've been scarred, so I got bias towards Cooper, but I don't think anybody's selling him. There's no buying Cooper low right now. It's as high as it's gonna get. So
I feel that. But you can still, I mean, if you feel like 8 more games with him putting up somewhat of these type of numbers, he might can carry you into the offs as your WR1 or as your WR2, depending on what you already got on your team. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he, because 3 targets the first game, 9 targets the second game. That's 12. He got 19 targets. He got 19 receptions with 27 targets. That's pretty efficient right now.
That's not bad.
With him playing with this quarterback the first time in his career in a new offense.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about Cooper. I'm biased.
I ain't mad at you.
Nick Chubb continues.
So look, so the way he just said that about Cooper, once we get to a certain game, I'm finna explain to y'all why my fantasy shookadiff is there, bro. And I got like 3 shares of this young brother on my mama, no lie.
I mean, look, Nick Chubb continues to go on a tear. Y'all, I talk bad about him. No disrespect, my bad. You know what I mean? Hey, it's working over there.
4 TDs in 2 games.
Baker who? You know what I mean? 2-1, that division wide open. We know what's going on over there. So, hey, I guess we can't count them out. Defense playing hard for sure. I mean, on the Steelers side, Najee with a pedestrian 11 points if you don't have first
down yardage.
First down yardage. Mitch Trubisky, no touchdown. I mean, Deontay Johnson, 8 receptions for only 84 yards, 10 catches per. Firemuth, he is what it is. To me, I can't wait to see the rookie get in there. I'm over Mitch Trubisky, and they should be over him too.
Yeah, and then I mean the emergence of Pickens too. I mean, Pickens showed. I know it was 1 catch, but he had three receptions on 7 targets in the first 2 games. It looking like they wasn't going for him. So with him showing that, hopefully that can translate into some more of him being on the motherfucking field. And, the offense ain't putting up but 10, 12 points per game. It's time for Pickens. And hopefully we can see some more action downfield and shit, bro, because they got a lot of motherfucking weapons that can be fantasy relevant, bro, but it just ain't there right now.
They need Pickett. Noah Brown for Tyler Conklin. I need a tight end. I already have Olave, Hollywood, and Diggs.
Run it quickly.
I'll take even with Conklin. He had a little solid 16 points. You know what I'm saying?
And I think he scored last week too, or Sunday.
Yeah, he had a nice fantasy game.
And I think even with when the milfucker is when he coming back. You know what I mean? You know, he
bad,
even in the preseason, I mean, during before Zach Wilson got hurt, Conklin, his name was coming up during training camp and when Zach was getting all the reps. So yeah, definitely I'll run that. And I like Noah.
Yeah, no. If Noah goes off tonight, do you revisit? If
Noah
go off tonight, do you change that thought?
No, because he's deep. If you bring up who else he got at receiver, Noah was a wire. Them is both wire pickups. So I think the tight end booming harder than the receiver is worth more than the receiver. You know what I mean? Because
especially if you never gonna play him.
Facts.
Houston
said it all right there.
Houston and Chicago.
My point takes 1,000 words, but you can say my point in 2 words.
Who, me? What'd I say?
Whatever the last point was. I forgot what you just said, but that's what it was, blah. Federal. That's federal.
Houston 20, Chicago 23. I think the biggest story here is Montgomery's injury, right? Well, Pierce, 18 nice fantasy point, but the emergence of Herbert and the injury to Montgomery.
Yeah, but I just seen. So I got the game on right now, and they just said that Monty ain't nothing but like week to week or something right now. So they're
not committed to him long term. And if Herbert's making some noise, D-Mont might be taking the back seat.
I feel it. Yeah, nah, definitely. So he's the one. He's probably the number one. Is he the number one wire?
We'll get into that. He probably should be. Herbert should be.
If you had Monty
and Jamal Williams.
If you was drafting in ALB before we knew this injury, if you had Monty, would you have get the Geico on him and when got Herbert?
Yeah, but I never would have had him.
He was on your do not draft list?
Yeah, Montgomery was because they not committed to him. He ain't got no contract. He on a contract year, but they got Herbert, who did good when he filled in. And Montgomery, he hit his ceiling. He hit his ceiling, and he ain't never gonna be that again. It's over. I'm sorry.
Hey, Wood said what you said right there, especially if you ain't gonna play him. So that cut my whole point, my 1,000 words into 2, like 5 words. Oh, my mama.
Fella high. What? Bogart, what's happening, man?
Bogey, what's up, man? You want to jump on? You can jump on, man. We send you the link, man.
Yeah, Houston and Chicago, man. I mean, it's Pierce. It was a good game for him. I mean, everybody who invested draft capital in him, I don't know how high people went. He was going in the close to double-digit rounds, maybe 7th or 8th at the worst, maybe around the 6th. I don't know. We were in a league where somebody grabbed him early twice, so I don't know the real where he was going. We're past ADP because it's what have you done for me now? But I mean, he looked good though. I mean,
so the last 2 games, Burkhead didn't get no carries last game, or not this Sunday, but the last Sunday he didn't get no carries, and then here you go, he popped off with the carries, the yardage, and the tutty. There he goes. There's no turning back from him right now. That's why he was able to bust the trade with you, because he believed in Pierce.
And that's why I also understand why CH was expendable to him, because the running backs he does have, Taylor, Robinson, not to get sidetracked, and still Pierce, he could take that gamble and lose a running back. So I definitely understood why he did that.
But that helped the people though with the backstory about the depth of him having at running back and why you was able to go make that move and the depth you had at tight end.
Yeah, no doubt. Other than that, I mean, Brandon Cooks, 2 catches, 22 yards. He's usually pretty solid, but again, this was just, the Bears defense is kind of stingy. They're not too bad. They chalk it up to that
going into the week of before Sunday started. They were a big pickup. I think people, grabbing them thinking they was going to shut Houston down.
Is Mooney droppable?
Like I said last week, Mooney wasn't on my draft list. People had Mooney.
When we was in Dynasty season, you was like, I ain't fucking with Mooney. Niggas is on Mooney too tough. You was very adamant about that.
But there was a stat where I think the last 4 weeks of the season, he was the 8th overall receiver. So he was carrying people into their ships and all that shit. You know what I mean? So, hopefully that's what happens, coming in to this season. It picks up a little bit later on down the season. But as of right now, he's not playable.
What do you guys think of this trade? I get Jamar Chase and James Conner and give up Chug and Mike Williams.
Conner was pedestrian last week, but
I think I'll take Chase. I think I'll take Chase and James Conner because Herbert. I mean, he played last week. Mike's boom. We know how much he could fall off. We know what Chase's ceiling is, and Conner won't finish too far behind Chubb. He'll finish behind Chubb, but not too many. It won't be drastic like Chase and Mike Williams would be.
I think it will. So my question would be, who is Conner going to be your RB1, or do you have another RB1? That's why you traded Conner that's why you traded Chubb, because you're deep at RB. And didn't have you wasn't deep at wide receiver. That's my only thing. But what's up, Beeson? That's my dog Corey right there. What's up, bro? Oh, he got C-Mac. Oh, my mama, I feel it. I ain't mad at that. Especially in the PPR.
I'm taking that. Yeah, I'm definitely watching the game, Beeson. It's on my screen right now. It's on the same screen my computer's on, man.
You already know, bro.
Raiders at Tennessee. The Raiders.
I seen you in one of the chats talking about that you picked up Mac. Did you play Mac?
Yeah, that's in the SBI. That's in the SBI though. It's super flex 14 team. Like rosters are deep in there.
But you played him though, huh?
Yeah, I played Mac. Mac Hollins picked him up Saturday.
That's back-to-back games for Mac though.
Yeah, threw him right in. Renfro out with the concussion. He's a nice big target. Carr definitely be looking for him. What are the Raiders going to do, though, man? Are you worried about Adams? I mean, at this point, they got to put it all on the line.
So I think what the thing with Adams is that the 17 targets, once that came back and they didn't get the win, they was like, bruh, we got to spread this shit around. Hunter had 10 targets last week with the fumble. Waller did his thing. He was looking for Waller on the 2-point conversion. It was another thing that had happened with Waller somewhere near the goal line. So it was bad. It's been bad luck the last 2 games, bruh. They've been in it.
Well, they made their own bad luck last game, giving up that lead. I'm not gonna say that was bad luck.
Yeah.
But this game, I mean, shit. They're not exploding. Here it was, Tennessee. Played on Monday night.
Yeah.
They just played on Monday night. They come more hungry than y'all. 0-2 after giving up that lead. I don't know what's going on over there. Carr saved it with, scoring at the end, had a 20-something point game, 23, 24, something like that. But, I think you got to be patient from a fantasy. That's a good thing about fantasy. We don't our players how well they do aren't necessarily dictated on how bad or good the team is that they playing on. Sometimes, obviously, the higher power offenses, you want those players, but you could be patient with the Wallers. Only had 5 this week, and obviously you patient with Devontae Adams. I know I'm trying to go pounce on Devontae Adams right now, but I got somebody in the league that's stingy that don't trade like that.
And shout out to the people that started Josh Jacobs for the uncertainty that he presented during all the way up into Saturday. If you rolled it out with him and in the good 13-14 that he got you in your league, shout out to you 100%. Boy, that shit was scary. Oh my mama.
Yeah, that was.
Shout out to Henry too, though.
Henry back. I mean, everybody was worried. 2 8-point games in a row. Came back with the 24. You know what I'm saying? Touchdown.
Back-to-back tutties in 2 games. You know what I mean? That's a good sign.
Hilliard to me is still a good stash to have.
Yeah.
If you're a Henry owner, you should have Hilliard, and I hate to say that with you having Henry and maybe going out there to do that, but don't sleep on that. Again, like we were just talking about Mac Hollins, though. Mac Hollins 158 yards, a touchdown. I mean, Devontae Adams still a touchdown, 5 catches, 36 yards. Waller, 3 catches, 22 yards. Nothing spectacular. We could even talk about the high hopes that everybody had for Traylon Burks this week. He only
Yeah,
came
I
back.
was one of
It was a Robert Woods. As far as receiving wise, Robert Woods, even Derrick Henry had more receiving yards, 5 for 58. Than Traylon Burks, 1 catch, 13 yards. Ew. But rookies, that's usually how it goes. So you don't want to be banking on rookies too early in the season. But there is a rookie that we'll talk about in a second when we get there that we will talk about that you can play a lot for sure.
What
So
about
they
the
do.
What about the receptions that Henry showed? That was big. Five
Big
for what?
win.
Five out of 6 for 58. That's hard.
That's
Yeah.
if he'll
Man,
continue that, he'll be worth every bit of the late pick in the first that people got him because he was going
that
later.
shit is crazy. I think I got him at the 8th in ALB.
Yeah,
I
no
got
doubt.
him at the 8th, and then I took Devontae after him. So what that would have put me at, like the 5th of the second round or the 4th of the second round.
Something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of upsets this week. Indy, hungry, dogfight, beat KC. Let's
No,
answer this
you right
question.
though, Wood.
Let's
My bad.
answer this question right quick. Let's go to the comments. JD, you basically gave me Kamara and Cousins for Sanders and Mike Evans, just trying to make myself. Should I
And
trade
Dorchstone, bro. And Dorchstone, bro. You can't forget about him.
Should I
Now you
trade
did that.
Lamar
But
for Russ and Gabe Davis?
oh shit. I don't know, bro. Russ. If Russ couldn't cook us, or me and Cuzzo being 49er fans, if Russ couldn't cook us like that, bro, it's gonna take a while. And I don't know if I want to give up on Lamar. Who is your other receivers?
What
And I
if
don't want to
what if
talk.
it
I
was
don't want to talk about Lamar. I don't want to wait because
what if it was Carr and Gabe Davis for Lamar? I mean, depending on what you needed.
right. That's why I'm asking who his other receiver is, because we finna talk about Lamar here in a minute, and I got a lot of shares of Lamar. A
But
lot.
with this question
Yeah.
right here, are you taking Carr or Tua and Gabe Davis for Lamar?
No, I need a WR1. I need Diggs and Russ or Tua.
Got you.
And I
The
probably
answer to that one was no. Receivers are gonna come better than a
yeah,
talent like
don't
Lamar.
do it, bro. And you know what I mean? And so like off camera, I was telling Cuzzo that I probably didn't mention that, but before I shipped off Kamara, the way I'm feeling about Lamar, I was thinking about maybe trying to see what I can get for I don't know, bro.
Either you trading them or you not. What is it?
It's a backstory, but with me and quarterbacks that just pop off. Sir Bongs a lot. What's up, bro? Shout out to my nigga, man.
You nervous?
Look at Wood.
His
Now Wood
flex
finna
is
troll
Juju.
me.
Nah, we're not doing that. Don't do that trade. Don't ship Lamar off for
Juju
that.
is a flex. Juju had a good game. Now Juju about to start being a beneficiary.
Hey, look, man. I seen a stat said it was about at one point early in the game, nine different receivers caught the ball with Mahomes. I'm not going for Juju. I'm not worried about Juju. Zeke and Gabe Davis for Dalvin Cook. I mean, Dalvin got the shoulder injury. Dalvin got the shoulder injury, so
week to
I'm
week,
getting
bro.
off of I'm getting off of Dalvin right now.
Hey, you just got to make sure you go get Madison, bro. Especially
it's probably too late unless the
if you're
owner
not
got
3-0
him.
or 2-1, and you got to sit out on Cook for a week or two, and you're not strong at RB, don't do it. But if you strong at RB or got the chance to get Madison, hell yeah, get rid of Zeke as fast as you fucking can, doggy.
Fast, like NASCAR. KC and Colts, let's talk about this. Man. The upset, Taylor came back, a little better than he did, obviously, that you would want from look at Pollard out of there. Oh, Pollard. It's only a matter of time before Pollard take over there.
Dunzo, bro.
Michael Pittman, fresh back, 8 for 72 yards. Matt Ryan came with 2 TDs.
Facts,
The
Bones.
rookie Alec Pierce made an appearance. But I mean, again, Taylor is always going to be the focal point, him and Michael Pittman. I think coming off that injury, owners are happy to see Michael Pittman just produce, even if it was about 14 points. I'm on the Chiefs side.
Shares of Woods too somewhere? I thought I seen you had some shares of Woods.
That might have been in Dynasty.
Yeah.
On the flip side, the rushing game was not nowhere near anything over in KC, but they were firing. Maybe that explains it. Juju, 5 catches for 89 yards. The Colts definitely had a good game plan to try to take away Kelsey. 4 catches, 58 yards. But again, I mean, it's the Chiefs. The only people you can continue to start is pretty self-explanatory. Mahomes, Kelsey, and maybe CEH, depending on how deep you are at running back. I know you mentioned Juju, but I ain't fucking with Juju, man. That's just me.
I like Juju because based on that, the deep passing game isn't nowhere consistent, and so for them to continue to move the chains, it's gonna be Kelsey and Juju with CH and fucking McKinnon. You know what I mean? The deep passing game is just not connecting. You know what I mean? It's a couple of trade questions in there too, bro. But yeah, though, the pass catchers on Kansas City, if you ain't got Kelsey, the only one I would go get is Juju. Excuse me.
Justin Jefferson for Hill, Dobbins, and Marvin Jones. You just did it. Man, that's tough. I'm not giving up on Jefferson that easy, but it depends on what your running back situation is. You might be in a situation where you're looking at Dobbins for the long run, so I can't knock you for that.
Yeah,
should I trade Swift and AJ Brown for Najee and Gabe Davis?
No.
I mean, to me, Swift he gonna be dealing with these injuries. They say he could miss a couple weeks right now because of his injury.
It's at least 2 weeks right now. I think I'm taking
Najee and Gabe.
Hell no. AJ Brown.
Nah, I gotta keep AJ.
If you got action at getting Jamal Williams, then tough.
Don't
do it.
That's tough right there.
Pay a little bit more price for Jamal Williams because you still got AJ. AJ hands down is the number one. I ain't gonna say the number one receiver over there because we seen what Smitty did, but yet AJ is not gonna be shied away from. 100%. If you can go get Jamal Williams and sit out them 2 weeks, don't do it, bro. You know what I mean? And it sounds like you might be 1-2, or you know what I mean, or 0-3. I hope you're not. You know what I mean? But if you is, and please forgive me if I'm disrespecting you. But don't panic. French Montana got a song, "Don't Panic," and we got a saying in the ALB, MOP, Master of Panic. We not doing that right now, bro. Make some smaller moves before you make them bigger moves.
Hey man, chances make champion, man. Go for the gusto, man. If you get your guys, man, that's my recommendation.
That's true too. That you know what I mean.
Quick thing. What should I do with this team? Russ, get a better quarterback. We could start there. Najee, Saquon, maybe trade. I would like to trade. You're not going to be able to bank on Bateman. Zeke is nothing. I would try to package up Zeke and Najee Harris for something nasty. Just sell the names.
I'm keeping Najee. I'm keeping Najee and Saquon because they're gonna do you your justice. The only joint that you really need to go probably attack is your quarterback because Zeke. I mean, depending on how the roster, I mean the format is if it's 3 receivers or 2 running backs, 2 receivers. I mean Zeke. You know what I mean? You with Najee and Saquon, Zeke is just. You know what I mean? And you got Herbert for at least 3 more weeks. You could sell high on Herbert and package Zeke with Herbert. So, yeah, your team, try and upgrade your quarterback, and the rest you can hold out on. Just try and get rid of Zeke. Sell high on Herbert.
Yeah, no doubt. Buffalo, Miami. This is another upset. I mean, this is a division game. We knew this was going to be one, but this is an upset. 3-0 Miami. Ooh,
definitely.
Tua banged up.
And I'm not mad on that last trade because bruh so high on one receiver. I forgot who it was, but he was able to get Tyreek back on a low game too. The receiver he sold on. It was Jefferson. Jefferson had a low game too. and he was able to go get Tyreek and 2 other pieces for 1 piece. And Tyreek and Justin Jefferson ain't gonna be too far away. So, bruh, that did that trade 100%.
Yeah, the Cousins situation scared me. We'll get into that, but let's talk about this Buffalo Miami game. Singletary, can you trust him? I mean, how many catches did he have? 9
9
catches,
of them for
78
78.
yards.
But if you
Stephon
look,
Diggs, 7 for 74. Go ahead.
But if you look, James Cook also had 5 targets, 4 receptions for 37 yards on top of Singletary. So that's 16 targets out of 2 running backs. So that's what you are looking for out of their running backs, because Josh Allen is the RB1 when it comes to rushing the ball. You know what I mean? So, I don't think you can bank on Devin Singletary banging off for 73 yards and 9 receptions every motherfucking game, but yet you want one of them running. You want to stash one of them RB. Some people probably went hero RB and took Singletary as a second RB, and I think this is the second game that he has popped off. So it is paying dividends for him. Yeah, he had 12 points in the first game, which was probably about 9 in standard PPR leagues. But yeah, though. So that shit, the 28, it won you your week. Hopefully this week that you started in, because you know what I mean, you wasn't banking on almost 30 points. But yeah, fuck yeah. Just you got to maybe sell high on him. Try and go get you somebody that
Hey,
that's
shout out to a real Buffalo nigga, man. He said Dolphins at the whole city, man. Yes, Zeke is done. Apologies.
Look though, bro, Dreams. And see, Dreams, he trolling me right now. We not doing this right now. They was in Miami, bro. You know how it is, bro. It's 85, but the humidity feel like it's 1,000,001. Come on now, bro. Is it snowing where you at right now, bro? Let it be known right now, bro. Don't be doing that, bro. They going to the bowl, bro.
I believe they got what it takes.
Yeah, nah, Dreams trolling me right now. That's all right, bro.
I believe they got what it takes.
That's
I definitely believe they got what it takes. But on the other side, man, I mean, Waddle. I mean, it was a grind game. This was going to be a tough game for Miami, no matter what. I didn't have too many expectations for Hill or Waddle, honestly.
But Waddle, I mean, that's 3 straight, bro. It says he's the number 4 overall wide receiver. Look at this nigga, man. What this nigga say, man? They was in live. Oh my, and KOD, bro. This nigga, bro. Hey, stop it, bro. They was on the yachts with Amiris and Tim's on with no shirt, like how them niggas was doing it 2 years ago, 3 years ago. My nigga Dreams is a fool, bro. But yeah, though, nah. Give me motherfucking Waddle, though, bro. It's 3 straight, bro. You know what I mean? And he was going in the 4th, and motherfuckers, the way he finished last year, they like, well, the way he finished last year going into this year is nowhere should be where his ADP should be, because he finished as a 13th receiver last year. And for him to be drafted as a 13th receiver was going to be, overdrafting him. But here it is now where it says that he the 4th overall receiver right now. I mean, shit. Is he one of the steals of the drafts in the first 3 weeks?
I mean, he definitely is still, but this game to me is an outlier. But they do play him again, so it's gonna be a tough one no matter what.
Damn,
are you worried about the Tua injury?
We got a culture question.
Let's hear this, man.
Let's do it.
Comments right quick.
Let's do it. And because we are, if you go to our motherfucking Instagram at the Heart2Start podcast, this should say we born bred in the culture. You know what I mean? You want me to kick it off, or you want to kick it off?
What's the question about the question?
Yeah, the
Cole, Drake, Kanye, Kendrick, rank them. Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, Kanye. And if we talking about lyrics, that's where I'm going with. If we talking about music overall, we're going to put Drake and Kanye.
Okay. So I'm going to go, and this is just based off, who I just rock with a lot on the daily. It's going to be Dreezy, it's going to be Kanye, it's going to be Kendrick, and then it's going to be Cole. But I fuck with Cole tough, bro. But on the daily, that's who I'm with. 100%, bro. check out our, and check out us individually, because Cuzzo, brand builder, business owner, family first, you know what I mean? We born bred in this culture, so you're gonna see how we live and the bullshit that we do on the daily, you know what I mean? So when you asking these type of questions, you know what I mean? Not only we do fantasy, but we into that type of shit you just brought up, bro. So you can see how we do this shit. You know what I mean? 100%.
Facts. Detroit at Minnesota. Minnesota get the win. I think the biggest story here is the Swift injury and Amon St. Brown injury.
And my guy Cook. So I was a big Cook guy going into this year, man. Oh my mama, dog. But St. Brown, before the injury, he was doing his motherfucking thing. So, depending on how long, if he do got to sit out or not, we already know that St. Brown is locked and loaded as the number one guy over there. And Detroit, they had a chance to win the game. They gave up that late touchdown, for Minnesota to go ahead and go up. You know what I mean? So Detroit, they have a lot of fantasy viable players, bro, for sure, bro. And Swift was doing his thing for the first two games. It's just fucked up to see him, and we seen it for the first 2 years of his career. He get to doing his motherfucking thing, and he get to being, the emoji with the bandage around his head.
You trusting Jamal Williams going forward?
Yeah. It showed for the first 3 games. It showed that they want to mix him in as well.
2 touchdowns.
So they know what they got. I can't think of the coach's name, but I watched the first 2 episodes at Hard Knocks. He went to shit.
How much is Josh Reynolds not on? Is he somebody to pick up if St. Brown is hurt?
Definitely, because he scored the week before, and then he had 8-9 targets for like 80 yards. He had a carry too, 6 carries. No, that's not so. Excuse me.
Actually,
he had 10 targets, 6 receptions, 96 yards. My man, beneficiary, and then he scored last week too. Yeah, he scored last week. 3 targets, 3 receptions, 38 yards, and a tutty. So yeah, so they mixing him in too.
3 Adam Thielen, 18 fantasy points. Osborne, 73 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, the bigger story is Jefferson with 3 catches. He had about 8 targets, 3 catches for 14 yards. What is going on over there? Last year, they were moving him around.
I think it's more of the ops making sure that Justin Jefferson don't go yay like how he did on Monday night in the first week. I think that's what that is. I don't know. Was that
so? That's what I'll say. This are you selling Thielen after the 18-point game right now?
No, because it's going to be more of the ops trying to lock in on JJ.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I'm selling Thielen. I think Osborne is somebody that they're looking to. They play a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. You got Dalvin banged up. Obviously Madison could fill in, but from a talent standpoint, I'm gonna have to get a nod to Dalvin. It's gonna be Pass City. I think that the way Jefferson has been playing the last few weeks, that it's always gonna be Jefferson and either Thielen and Osborne, not both. Sprinkle Irv Smith somewhere in there sometimes. So I'm selling Thielen now.
Yeah. I'm 50-50 on that. I'm not going to completely disagree with you on that, but yet, I'm going to kind of like rebuttal just based on, I love the WRs. That's my favorite position in real football, but my favorite position in fantasy football is the running back. But yet, to say what I just said, Thielen got that footwork in that red zone. Anywhere between that 15 into that, that goal line, he's making boys do the Watusi. I make you do the thizzle wiggle right on your face and put you in the trunk with the bump in the bass.
Baltimore.
And I apologize if y'all might not be, and Brett just asked us about some music, culture shit. But my cousin just finished the shit for me, so we just in tune. I apologize.
Yada that mean is hotter than steam.
Don't do it like that, bro.
Baltimore versus New England, man. Mac Jones, possibly high ankle sprain.
Why you want to go to this? Why you can't say this game for last,
I mean,
bro?
that's where we at, man. It's on my sheet, man. My show sheet, man. Baltimore, New
Bruh.
England, Lamar, 4 touchdowns.
Come on, bro.
What he do? 11 carries, 100 yards.
The 4th ranked rusher in the league.
Zeke look like he got some gas right here. They just ain't feeding me.
Yeah, that's because Tony Pollard doing all the work.
They both better do it because the pass game ain't gonna do it, man.
Zeke looks slim though.
They should be doing that with Dak.
Pause.
They should be doing that with Dak.
Look,
running.
Big shot.
They be putting too much.
He dropped his CD. Is a bump. No, you're not no bum.
Too much
You're
on that pass. They be putting too much on the pass game. Even when Dak is back, they got these 2 running backs.
Look,
he
CD
dropped it.
He's
a bum.
He completely dropped it, cousin.
He's a bum. Don't even smile. He's a bum for that. CD Lamb, we watching the game right now. CD Lamb.
Hey, but see, I'm glad we watching the game because it's taken away from my take that's coming up of the game that's on the screen.
How do you even drop that? Hey, the fix is in. The fix is in. How does he have any reason not to? Can they zoom in? Oh my God, he making it.
Look at Zeke. Oh shit!
Cowboy fans gotta be.
Look at Zeke.
Let's talk about Lamar Jackson.
Let's do it.
He's the fella.
He's the fella right now. He's banking on himself right now to get the 300 because Deshaun got what 250, 230. He wants
the Guccini.
He wants like 20 times or 20 over that. So if it was 230, he wants 250. If it was 250, he wants the 300. And that's what he's doing right now because in Yahoo, that shit say the number 1 on him. And that, I'm a dinosaur. Some of my, both of my home leagues, shout out to, they on Yahoo. He got the big number 1 against his thing. And my thing backstory is, I love to tell stories. I don't tell them real well to where I could be a rapper or whatever they, you know what I mean? But, nigga, I had Dak 2 years ago, and the Cowboys is playing. Oh, my goodness. This is not cool right now. I had Dak 2 years ago where he was 40s and 50s for the first 4 weeks. Boom. Then I take Aaron Rodgers in the 3rd round. Both the years he break his clavicle or his shoulder or some other weird shit. And I'm going, it's too many similarities. I got to trade this boy. So my main thing is
flashbacks.
Yeah, flashbacks. You know what I mean? I'm searching for my first ship in some of these leagues that I got Lamar Jackson in, bro, and he just going crazy.
Man, look, we're gonna let you ponder. We're gonna let you ponder what to do with. We're gonna let you ponder what to do with him, man. You got a lot of time left, man. You could, you know what I'm saying, sell as high as ever, or you could stay rocking with him. But I want to talk about this game because a lot of people are not a lot of people. I'm sorry, I'm high right now. I'm thinking about something else. It's wire pickups. Everybody's gonna jump on Devontae Parker because he had 5 catches, 156 yards. But Mac Jones is hurt, high ankle sprain possible. He might be out for a minute. Are you going to still go grab Devontae Parker with a high waiver pick?
I'm not now because I got Mike Evans in the league in AOB. You motherfucking right, I'm not. Fuck yeah. He was gonna be one of my targets, but I know he wasn't gonna fall to me because I was like at 11 or something. I've been busting a lot of wire picks on receivers. I've been thirst trapping. You know how you be. Sometimes you be. No, you don't know, but I don't know neither. Never mind.
CD Bumsky. Look, man, stay away from the Patriots offense. Even the Ramondre Stevenson, yeah, he had 19 fantasy points, 12 carries, 73 yards, but Damian Harris had 11 for 41 and a touchdown. It's always going to be hot hand over there unless one of them get hurt. I'm staying away from all Patriot players off top. On the Ravens side, I mean, come on, we talked about Lamar. Dobbins is back. I think Dobbins is more of a stash, even though Justice Hill, had 6 carries for 60. It was the Lamar show on the ground. Mark Andrews continues to show why he's a second-round player, just like that Kelsey is. He's his favorite target. Rashad Bateman with with the fumble. He only had 2 catches, 59. Duvernay continues to produce. I mean, is Duvernay somebody that, I mean, he was on last week's wire, but is he somebody that you could trust now?
No.
Leave him alone.
No, because it was a kick return last week. And then
he
the
didn't do
usage of
nothing
this week was it wasn't there. But to go back on the Harris and Ramondre, the attempts was even. You know what I mean? And Ramondre is going to present a little bit more usage out of receiving game. So, and if there is
agree with that.
If Mac Jones does have to happen to miss some games, you know, Rahamador might get a little bit more usage in the receiving game, which, you know, he is the better running back. So with them presenting the same amount of carries, even though that injury was late in the game, but still though, you know, I like Rahamador. I like Rahamador coming into the season. I still like him. You know what I mean?
That's a joke, y'all. We like to say Rahamador.
Yeah, I messed his name. You know, you guys got to understand. You know, I don't know if you've been tuned in since the beginning of the show, but I tried to spell my brother's name and couldn't even spell my brother's name. Everything, but yeah, though, just like how Cuzzo was talking about Monty Burns. You know what I mean? Them not extending him. You know, the league didn't extend Dame. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's
you got to give them the background on the Monty Burns before you say Monty Burns. They may not know it unless they.
Shout out to Bogey. Shout out to Bogey, hey, Monty Burns on my mouth.
Let's talk about the Cincinnati 27 to Jets 12. I want to talk about something that's been talked about in our league, in the ALB league, and that's somebody saying that Higgins is doing better than Jamar Chase right now.
That's the other guy. Shout out to Brody Cortez. You know what I mean? You know, and T. Higgins is that he's that guy. That's for sure. You know what I mean? You can't ignore him, but you got to understand. You know, me going in to the season, I didn't have Chase in my top 3 based on the season that he had last year because he had 82 catches, 84 catches for 1,400. That shit is not consistent, bro. It's not, bro. And T. Higgins missed 4 games last year and had 80 catches, the same amount of catches, but for 1,000. You feel me? So if T. Higgins didn't miss them 4 games, you know what I mean? If you average that out, T. Higgins right there with Jamar. And you got Jamar, you know what I mean? 9, 10, and, you know, standard 12-team redraft, you know, basic, you know, your home league shit. Jamar, number 1, the first round pick. But you got the value with T.
You got the value.
My bad, y'all. I'm sorry.
I'm with you on that. Burrow, 3 TDs, 275. He got his fantasy relevance back. Let's talk about the Jets side, though. Is Breece Hall more of a stash than the start? Because him and Michael Carter are sharing carries like we thought was going to happen at the beginning of the year.
Facts. But what the thing is, though, what happened last week is that Breece had the he played the bigger part in the motherfucking receiving game, but we know Michael Carter to play a part in the receiving game. So if this is a trend with Breece playing a bigger part in the receiving game and them splitting carries, Breece is
the option
might be a little bit more worthy of a flex play than Mike Carter is. You know what I mean?
I could agree with that.
Might be creeping up into that stat, you know what I mean? But yet, first 2 weeks, you know what I mean? Flacco letting it rip, but now, you know what I mean? Here it is. They was in the mix last week too, though. You know what I mean? So, you know, game script is going to have a lot to do with both of these running backs. But if Breece is getting the carries and the majority of the receiving work,
you got to go with Breece. You go with Breece for sure.
He got the second round draft capital. So, you know what I mean? But yet, you know, they ain't going to be in too many more games. Now, here comes Zach Wilson. You know, he looked like me.
Is Elijah more droppable?
No. Hell no.
Garrett Wilson is his team.
No.
From a receiving standpoint.
I don't know about it. You know,
he's the one getting it.
Here comes Zach. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know,
hey.
Garrett pushing him, you know, he pushing it down the field, you know, Waka Flacco, you know, I was a big shout out to Waka his first album, but you know that's when Flacco was doing his thing for the Ravens, and I was on the mat. But yet, you know, he was trying to let it go, bro. You know what I mean? Here come the number 1 pick or the number 2 pick.
Let's talk about Philly and Washington. I mean, shit. Right now, Lamar Jackson's winning the race versus Jalen Hurts, as our argument that I said Hurts would have. But are you
Wait.
surprised?
What'd you say?
Lamar's winning that bet right now, but are you surprised what
I thought
Jalen
you
is
said
doing?
Hurts was. My bad.
No, are you surprised what Hurts is doing?
No, because you know I respect your opinion, and for you to have him in the
No,
top
just
5,
Hurts
and I got
overall.
him at the 5. I got Lamar, so we was kind of somewhere with these boys doing their motherfucking thing this year. You know what I mean? So yet, but for Hurts, for him to be pushing the ball down the field, and for him, or for the Philly to invest to go get AJ and to go get Devontae, where they got Devontae the year before, and to have Goddard and everything else around him, it's better. Jalen has a better situation around him because he can do less. Because if you look at what he did in the rushing game, he didn't have to do nothing. But Lamar had to hit for $1 and also push the ball down the field. You know what I mean? And that's what it's gonna be for week in, week out with Lamar. But when you got an AJ, you got a Smitty, you got a Dallas, and you got an offensive line that's ranked in top 5 in pass protection and run protection. Come on, man. Hurts is set up. I mean, it got to be 1A, 1B in the MVP race right now, bro. So
With who?
with Hurts and Lamar.
You think so?
Who else?
Nah, I like everything that Ertz is doing for sure, man. It's looking good over there, man. I like what I see from a fantasy perspective. You winning. Miles Sanders, running backs, I'm cool, but to me, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, you know, obviously Smith had the 0. I was worried about him. But they're like in the Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle situation right now. You know?
So do you think it come to a stop, or is this shit is it's a full go for the whole season?
What?
The Devontae and the AJ.
No, I think they're gonna both do what they're doing all year because Hurts can't be stopped. Hurts can't be stopped. He has too many. They obviously traded because they liked you know, Hurts. I mean, traded for AJ Brown because they like Hurts. So it's like they told you that they were going to be passing that ball, you know, before the season started. So, I'm loving what I see over there. I'm loving what I see over there.
What about McLaurin? McLaurin finally broke out. Is this something that we
I
can see
mean,
about McLaurin?
if a breakout is 18 points, you in trouble.
Damn.
I like McLaurin. I'm fine with him. I think it's always going to be him. I mean, up until like the second half, more towards the middle of the game, he had like 0. It started coming on late, but I mean, it was the Phillies defense is for real. It was a hot pickup last week. You know, they making noise. Wentz had -7 in some leagues. So, you know, for Terry to have 18 points, I think you're fortunate. You know, anybody that was starting Dotson, you know, hold your horses. You know what I'm saying?
I was one of them motherfuckers that started Dotson.
Hold your horses, you know. But I got a question as far as on a Goddard standpoint, because, you know, in this high-powered offense, Goddard has only had 9 or 12, 9, 12, or 9, 12, 12, or something like that. Are you worried about Goddard?
No.
So this is a trade that someone proposed: Goddard and Lockett for Jeff Wilson Jr., Bateman, and Knox. This team needs wide receivers bad.
The Goddard and Lockett team needs receivers bad?
Yes.
And then why is he trying to go for Bateman? Because Lockett has been locked in for the last 2 games with the targets and receiving with the.
So he would be dumb to do this,
huh?
Because I just threw that out there because I said beware that trade. And he said he was looking at that. I'll just check it, man. I'll just check it. Check
I
it,
ain't mad, bro.
check it, AG. I
Hopefully,
mean,
Ware's watching this shit.
hey, on the commander side, Gibson. The window's closing for you to sell them. Brian Robertson, they got videos of him warming up and practicing and shit. Like, the window is closing to sell Gibson. You better hurry.
You should have sold him last week then when it was
Better
real
hurry.
hot.
Is Curtis Samuel continuing to be somebody you could play?
Yeah, definitely. It's still there.
You gotta start Curtis Samuel at this time of the year, man. I feel sorry for you.
I mean, it's 7 receptions out of 10 targets. The yardage wasn't there, but he still commit the target share is there, bro. That's like, hold on, let me go and let me see what that should say. 11-9. So that's 20. That's 30 targets in 3 games. 15 and then 22 receptions with 2 tutties. That's a trend. That ain't no fluke. He ran up again. You just said that the Eagles was a hot defense to add. You know what I mean? They was up 24-0 for a long time.
Yeah, not
in a row.
They on point.
Yeah, so I ain't mad at the Eagles, but I ain't mad at the Redskins, but they do got to see them another time.
Commanders. Let's
My bad.
Hey, New Orleans 14, Carolina 22. CMC with 100, a buck 08. Pass catching wasn't there. 2 catches for 7 yards. Laviska Shenault looks like they're trying to use Shenault in that gadget type situation. The biggest story here to me though is DJ Moore. One catch for 2 yards. Somebody made a comment in the league and was like, I seen what Baker did to OBJ. I'm not messing with DJ Moore. And I was on the DJ Moore train, and I apologize.
Yeah, that shit is ugly, bro.
It's time to panic. He's on your bench and leave him there. On the Saints side, Olave has arrived, and I'm honestly, that might be one of my biggest regrets was trading Olave.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, he's
19 for 9 for 13, 147.
Bro, Olave back. He's had triple digits. He's had double digits every week except one. We're in week 3, but Mike Thomas banged up, foot injury, his feet ain't eating. You know what I'm saying? It's
slow feet don't eat.
It's ugly over there, man. Kamara, are you worried about Kamara? You just traded him.
But I got him in a dynasty league. Nah, the attempts was there. He had 16 attempts for 60-something yards. What was it? 15-6 for 61 yards. He fumbled, but the receptions wasn't there. He had 7 motherfucking targets for only two receptions. You know what I mean? That shit wasn't converting. So I don't know if it's part of the injury or what's going on, or Jameis just he in love with Olave. I don't know what it is, bruh. But yet, I just sold 1 share of a Kamara for Mike Evans and Miles Sanders.
Let's get into another game that is considered an upset, but I want to say who's more of a coming out party was this? Trevor Lawrence and I'm not going to say coming out party. I'm going to say what's more shocking, James Robinson start, another game, 17 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown, or Trevor Lawrence, 262, 3 touchdowns, and continuing to show why Christian Kirk got the money.
Man, definitely. But I think the bigger story is though J-Rod. The shit was in the chat talking about coming back off the Achilles. We think of Achilles as fucking you out for 2 years instead of coming back in a year and being the number 2 overall running back in fantasy right now, bruh. So where does that shit add up at? So shout out to all the people that drafted J-Rob, and Wood is in the comments right now, so he tapped in. Wood was one of them motherfuckers that had J-Rob in his motherfucking rookie season. You know what I mean? 100%. And here it is again. J-Rob got slid down to the woo-wop wherever he got him at, and he's the number 2 RB running back there is in fantasy right now. coming off of Achilles.
Man, J-Rob is. You
That's the
got to believe
screen.
in me.
And the defense in Jacksonville. My bad.
Yeah, no, they young and fast over there, man. They playing some ball. I mean, is the bigger story the Jags or how bad the Chargers are?
Wait, say that again.
Is the bigger story the Jags or how bad the Chargers
Oh
are?
yeah, nah. I think the bigger story is how bad the Chargers are, but that's due to old boy getting lumped up in his rib cage.
Send ET and JD. I know you didn't gave up on him by now.
No, I ain't gave up on him because the rushing attempts is there. The usage in the passing game is there. It's just he ain't scored yet. That shit is
Hey,
there.
bigger disappointment, Eckler or Mike Williams?
I'm gonna say Eckler.
You gotta
Just
say
based,
Eckler. He drafted in
because
the
of his
first round.
draft capital.
He'll be all right. Eckler will be all right. The Chargers might not be all right, but Eckler will be all right.
Yeah,
Rams versus AZ.
Motherfucker, bruh. That shit hurt over there in AZ.
Stafford. My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say Stafford and Kyler had subpar games. I mean,
Dunzo game.
Is it Stafford's elbow or what is it?
I hope it was just because it was an NFC West game.
Hey, real quick, did
Because
the Giants turn it over?
Huh?
Did the Giants turn the ball over?
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm on this. I'm breaking down some night right now. Shout out to to the Ellis Greens.
So you ordered some of that?
Sometimes I got I'm tapped into the CEOs of the company.
Okay.
So sometimes I
say
can
no
get.
more.
Yeah.
Hey, so look, AZ. I mean, Kyler, 58 attempts, 314 yards. God damn. Hollywood 140
with no TDs though.
I mean, it's the Rams. Shit, ain't that what they? Ain't that what they do?
Yeah, I guess it didn't look like that on Thursday night when somebody came into their hut and thundered them. So I guess that's what they do sometimes.
Cooper Kupp, 4 catches, 44 yards, but he's a goal line red zone monster.
He was on his Debo shit the other night.
Yeah, the run game, getting the run game going. Sometimes that's what they need from them. I mean, Cam Akers. If you bought when you could, it might pay off for you. Henderson is looking like Oh, they went for it on 4. Appreciate you. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. The Giants, but nah. I mean, the division game are always going to be grind. Let's talk about Atlanta and Seattle. Cordero Patterson, he had a bad week last week. Come back this week with a good game.
So that means that, hell yeah, that means I trust him because that was what it was in week 1. You know what I mean? And let's see what Algier did this week. He had 6 attempts for 25 yards, and Corduroy Pimpin Patterson had 17 of them for $1.41. 100%. And he hit for $1.20 in week 1, I think it was. So yeah, that's a trend. We 3 weeks in, about to be going into this the start of week 4 here in a couple of days. So yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts, 5 catches, 87 yards. They did try to make it a point to getting the ball. Drake London, and again, touchdown. He's definitely proven to be worth any draft pick you got him at, whether it be dynasty or redraft. You got to steal with Drake London. I mean, that's what's going on.
He was somebody that I was staying away from redraft. So shout out to the young Drake London. He's a 2-sport athlete too. He said he was balling in hoop at USC.
Seattle's team, I feel the same way about Seattle. Maybe a little better, but Seattle and New England, I'm staying away from their players. I'm staying away from their running backs. Obviously, DK Metcalf and Lockett have been solid, but I mean, can you trust them?
Yeah, I can trust Lockett because the way that Seattle plays, run their offense is going to try and be a lot of run heavy boom, 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 take shots down the field. Even though that DK is still commanding targets, but the targets for Tyler is a little bit more down the field, and the shit is still connecting with Geno. So yeah, give me Tyler Lockett out of everybody in Seattle's offense.
I go with DK. I feel like they're always gonna be throwing the ball. He got more action at. I mean, Lockett been solid, but I really don't want none of them. Honestly.
Yeah, no, I definitely try and go get Lockett if I could.
Yeah. Green Bay, Tampa. Ooh, Tampa. It's looking ugly in Tampa right now.
Yeah, when you got Russell Gage commanding 15 targets, and you got Cole Beasley coming off the streets, unvaccinated, which that's how he choose to rock, and they tried to blackball him for that bullshit. You know what I mean? Shit, Tampa. He was out there. We know what it mean.
He can't do nothing without his main receivers. That's for sure. He can't do nothing without his main receivers. If Mike
And still
Evans
was in
not
it.
playing, Godman not playing, it's ugly in Tampa. Leonard Fournette was the only really effective one other than Russell Gage with the touchdown and the 87 yards. I mean, workload Fournette, obviously you trust him, but Brady, are you going to grab a Trevor Lawrence and playing him over Brady?
Yeah, I'm trying to go get somebody, but see, that's only until Godwin and Mike Evans come back though. 100%.
Them
They
boys,
not
hey,
firing on.
them boys. I mean, they'll be all right. It's Brady, but
Yeah, they not firing on 100. On 100% right now, bro. You know.
they ain't firing on all
My
cylinders
man,
for
but the way
sure.
that the defense is playing and the way that Fournette, even though Fournette didn't, cash in this week the way that he should have, with the opportunities, but yet the defense gonna carry him for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then as Mike Evans will be back this week. Hopefully Godwin to be back within the next 2 3 weeks. The offense gonna be is gonna pick up. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can get with you on that. I just
Yeah, the
I'm not
hurricane. I
fucking with
seen something
Tom.
about that because Miami and Cincinnati or some old shit. I forgot who played this week, and Miami is somewhere practicing somewhere else.
It's that season, man. It's that season. Let's talk about. I mean, the Green Bay side. Are you worried about these running backs? I mean, Dylan. Both of them have 5 points, but again, are you worried?
Nah, because it was the Bucks, bro. I had the heart to start about AJ Dillon. Because I was worried about the matchup. It was just a matchup for me. Last week, the game script called for Aaron Jones just to completely dominate because he had the hot hand. But if you look at AJ Dillon's attempts and his usage in the pass game, it's there. It just didn't connect for the last two games. One due to the game script, or both of them due to game script and partly and due to game script in week 3 and because of the matchup. Yeah, it's definitely good to see Dobbs step up for sure. Dobbs looked great, bro. So if you was able one of them motherfuckers to stash him, or if you got one of them number one wire picks to go get him, if he's on the wire, you motherfucking right, because that's finna be a trend, especially against the Bucks the way that he performed. Fuck yeah.
Nah, I can't argue that for sure. It was nice to see Dobbs step up. I think I'm not a Lazard guy. If I had to pick one, it was Dobbs. But if I had to pick any of them, it's none of them. I'm
Damn.
trying to if I'm trying to sell, it's probably on Dobbs. But if I had to pick one for the remainder of the season, it would be Dobbs. Dobbs, however you pronounce his name. And again, I'm not worried about Dylan or Jones. This is a stingy run D. They've been arguably the top, if not top two, run D for the last like 3 years for sure. Shout out to Ronald in the comments.
What's up, Ryan? That's my dog right there, bruh.
Shout out to Ron. Let's talk about this Frisco game, man, at Denver. Whew.
That shit hurt,
Man,
bro.
Jimmy G, boy, he's usually not one for excuses, but his excuses were horrible.
He's doing Jimmy things. That's for sure.
That one pass, man, in the coverage, I was like, wow.
Bro,
Like, come on.
he ran out of bounds. It was a pick six.
Like, come on. Like, come on.
Good looking, big bruh.
It's not much for me to say on them. Are you worried about Debo? Are you worried about Kittle? Are you worried about all of them? Or is it a situation where, look, we always going to be in ugly games like this?
Nah, I think that Jimmy, this week, first week, knowing that he was the guy, maybe a little bit of jitters there, playing in Mile High. But you know what I mean? For Debo to do what he did last year, and the usage is still gonna be there, and it was scary for Debo because we all thought, he was Dunzo, you know what I mean? And here it is miraculously, you know what I mean? Kittle, Debo and Kittle is the same type of motherfucking player. You know what I mean? They contact yards, the yak, you know what I mean? So, that's part of their game. But with Jimmy there, we know that's who he looking for, and my thing is the Ayuk train. Even though Ayuk scored, but yet, it was only 3 catches. You know what I mean? I don't know if the Ayuk shit gonna be there, but I know that the Debo, especially with fucking Eli being gone and J Dub not being effective like we want J Dub to be, so that's gonna be that Debo gonna be manufacturing all types of touches. So I'm not scared of Debo, but Kittle, fuck, you drafting, you're gonna have to fire him up every time that he's in the lineup. You know what I mean? Only time you're not firing him up is when he hurt.
Man, ugly. Russell Wilson, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. Sutton is the only one that's eating right now.
Yeah.
He's the only one that's been consistently eating, and that's because they force feeding him the ball. He's hands down the best receiver on the team. He's the only one I'm not worried about over there.
What about Javante? It was just a bad matchup.
You're gonna ride him. Most people spend the third to fourth round on him.
Yeah.
You stick right now. But it's been a lot of low scoring, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But as long as they feeding him and Melvin Gordon, I'm definitely worried about him. We can give him some time, but man, it's hard.
Yeah, it's kind of ugly over there in Denver for their players to be fantasy relevant right now, bro.
It's hard, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Debo and Dudley brothers.
Dudley brothers, yeah. Debo, what you pay for that? Are you trusting Jeff Wilson Jr.? We'll ask you as a 49er fan before we get into these waiver picks.
I need to see who we got next.
They got a bad matchup next.
Let me see, bro.
They got a bad matchup next.
Oh, they got the Rams. They ain't got no bad matchup. They finna. I like J Dub this week.
Rams.
Hell no, they thunder these boys.
I agree with you, Ronald, that the Broncos didn't play much in the preseason, but man, it just seemed like Russ is. I don't know if it's a receiver's not getting open and he's just scared to let it go. But Russ is definitely turning into Russ. He was making some plays when he was on the run and on the move. But all the money they signed him to, I felt like with their run game and the receivers that they had, that they thought they wouldn't have to use Russ like that, and that's what they were trying to stick with a lot. And maybe getting them out in space is what they're gonna need to do. I don't know. They better to get it together now because they already lost the game they should have won on bad coaching. We'll see. Give them some time, but the Chiefs, they ain't gonna wait on you, and they looking like the only threat in that division. So
yeah,
we'll see. Let's get into these wire, man. The rankings. We just got the top 3 right here, but I'm interested in some people you want to talk to. These are my top 3 right here. Hands down, Herbert. 35 fantasy points, man. 35, depending on your scoring. 150 rushing yards. He wasn't in any lineups this week, but he will be next week and the week after that. Sure.
and it showed the week before because Monty had 20 attempts, and Herbert really didn't do nothing. So with them not being able to do anything in the passing game, Herbert definitely has to be the number one waiver wire because of for them to be moving the ball down the field. It has to go through the running game with Justin Fields and number one running back. Sure, I'm mad at that. Everything, bro. I mean, we talked about Devontae Parker earlier. I was one of them teams that was wide receiver thirsty. Devontae Parker for sure, and also motherfuckers that's thirsty at tight end. Is Njoku a thing?
I mean, Njoku's definitely somebody to pick up if you need a tight end. If you banged up with Schultz and Hawkinson's not really delivering, and I think Njoku is definitely somebody to go grab on the wire. I wouldn't necessarily use a waiver pick on him. I would hope that the waivers go through. It depends. If I got a late waiver pick 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm probably not moving up no time soon, I'll probably spend something to get him. I'm not gonna go against that, but hands down, Herbert and Madison are the only ones you spending. And Madison again, Dalvin doesn't have a season long injury. Montgomery's in a worse situation. Are you spending the number one pick on Madison?
If I'm a Cook owner, you motherfucking right. But it just said that Dalvin is, he day to day, bruh. You know what I mean? It's a shoulder shit. It popped out. It could easily pop back in. It just depends on his level of tolerance. You know what I mean? So Dalvin, he dealt with this. Even if he only sit 1 week, this is what it really is for the last 3 years. He'll sit a week or two, boom, get you them 14 games, top 5 running back in fantasy PPR for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't use no waiver on Njoku either, bro. On my mama.
Yeah, I can't use a. I mean, it depends. Like I said, I'm in a situation where I got Schultz in the league and I got Hawkinson. I may not trust neither one of them, so let me just go grab Njoku because this is the year that shit getting tricky. Them top 2 tight ends is where it's at right now. So we'll see.
I'm not riding Monty off neither though. Ron, on my mama. I mean, we seen just like last week. Monty did all the damage last week. You know what I mean? Herbert didn't do nothing. So when Monty went down this week, of course Herbert was the beneficiary. So if Monty definitely does come back, and they said it wasn't season ending. So facts. I agree with you, bro.
Man, listen, I'll say this. What have you done for me lately? And that's Herbert.
I feel it.
That was the last game of the night. Right now is the Monday night game we got going on. Dallas. Quick takeaway from this game: Tony Pollard 6 carries for 71 yards. Zeke 8 for 55. Cowboys winning 6-3. It's going to be a lot of that. CeeDee Lamb's dropping bunnies. Cooper Rush. The run game is clicking. That's going to keep going. Is Tony Pollard is more startable than Zeke at this point? A lot of people probably have Zeke and Tony Pollard. Is it hard to not start Pollard over Zeke right now? I'm trading Zeke.
As of right now, I think they only scored 17 points last week. So I think that maybe when Dak comes back, I would rather have going forward. I would rather have Tony because Tony gonna be a little bit more useful. Because the way that they're using Zeke right now, it looks like that Tony is doing all the damage, and they getting Zeke in, getting a few touches in the red zone. So if I'm getting all my damage done with Tony, and Tony got a better chance of taking it to the house than what Zeke does on limited opportunities, only in the red zone and maybe on, a few first downs and shit. I don't know. Yeah, give me Tony Pollard, bro.
On the flip side, Barkley 7-26. Receiving wise, nothing really to talk about. Kenny Galladay has
Damn,
made
he just missed him bad. Oh, it was a pass
has
interference.
not done anything still. We'll see. We'll see. Again, I'm trying to ship off Zeke for sure. I'm trying to ship off Zeke if I got Pollard or if I don't got Pollard. Like, get him out of here. Honestly,
get him out of here.
It's not worth having. But yeah, y'all, that's the show, man. Hard to start, man. We glad we got to get y'all with that recap, man. We're gonna be back at the end of the week with the preview for the week 4. Get y'all right, man, as we wrap up almost the quarter of the season, man. JD, you got anything to say on the way out?
Man, end of the week, the fucking preview coming up, bro. 100%. And then, I'm on the motherfucking playmakers Wednesdays and Saturdays, bro. Sometimes on Sundays too. Sunday morning rock, we rocking out.
Yeah, no doubt, man. We're going to keep giving y'all that fire, man. And if you still need a win right now, man, shout out to you. I hope you get it. The game ain't
panic.
over. Don't panic, man. Let's get it, man. Heart to Start Fantasy Podcast. We out.
Facts.